What's it to you?
Why are you here? Why'd you show up like this?
Okay, folks, looks like we're taking a break. Because right now, I think for Battlefield 6, we're taking a break from that from now on. Some say they are trying to make a change.org petition to, I don't know, change Battlefield 6 to fit for LGBTQ stuff. That is going to be another video, okay? For now, I'm going back to Resident Evil 9. And there's more news. I know this is 2 days ago. I will say this, before we start, of all the ads that I will not skip, or at least watch a bit, is this one. I've already put it on wishlist. I don't know when it's coming out. I'll be waiting. Good intro.
Hey guys, JJ here, and today we got all new information on Resident Evil 9 Requiem thanks to an interview with Famitsu, along with a recap of everything you need to know. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Famitsu recently had the opportunity to sit down with Resident Evil Requiem's director and producer. Here's what they had to say. Zombies are confirmed back, but they have been completely reworked. They're still recognizable as the infected, but they move and behave differently than any previous version in the series. Their goal was to make players feel true fear again, not just from how zombies look, but from not knowing what they'll do next. He went on to explain that if zombies behaved like they always have, players could predict how encounters would play out. To restore that tension, the team made their movements and reactions unpredictable and strategic, making every encounter a risk. He even said this update to zombie behavior is one of the key gameplay pillars of Requiem, especially early on when players have few weapons. I can't begin to describe how excited I am to return to Raccoon City and battle the undead once again.
Wow, unpredictable. I wonder what's gonna be. What is gonna be like? The zombie heard you? Or perhaps it can be like a human. They can run or anything. Who knows?
Turn to zombies? Hit that like button. And for all the latest Resident Evil 9 Requiem news, make sure to subscribe. Now let's keep going. In classic Resident Evil fashion, combat isn't always the answer. The game will make players decide whether to fight or sneak by, just like older titles. That choice-based tension is coming back, but now with smarter, more advanced zombies that change how you approach each encounter. Nakanishi also touched on the large creature from the demo that eats the doctor's head. He's confirming it's human-like, but terrifyingly unpredictable. He wouldn't say what it is, only that it plays into the new kind of fear they're building with Requiem. He didn't say who or what it is, other than it is not Lisa Trevor. Moving on now to Grace and Alyssa, we get a bit more personality behind Grace Ashcroft and her connection to Alyssa. Grace is confirmed to be the FBI agent with basic firearms training, but she never faced anything like this before. Nakanishi joked that Alyssa never sat her down to say, "Eat your herbs properly," highlighting Grace's realism. She reacts to the world like a normal person, not a seasoned survivor. He said Grace is discovering the world of Resident Evil for the first time, just like new players would. Her innocence and doubt about the common sense of this universe adds a fresh perspective to the series. Alyssa's inclusion as her mother ties directly to Outbreak, but Nakanishi and Kumazawa reassured fans that you don't need to play the older games to understand the story. However, if you know Alyssa's past, you'll connect to her character more deeply. Sounds like all of you who have not played the Outbreak series need to get started.
You're probably gonna have to play that before the Resident Evil, or in this case, RE9 comes out. Although I would play it, I'll see what I can do. I haven't exactly played RE Outbreak. The only Resident Evil game I usually played is either Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, RE2 Remake, and 3. Maybe I'll give it a shot.
The Switch 2 version and performance. Another big takeaway is that Requiem runs natively and smoothly on Nintendo Switch 2. The RE engine was built with scalability in mind, allowing Capcom to keep the same visual fidelity across systems without forcing compromises. Nakanishi said even they were surprised how beautifully it performed, crediting the engine team for making it possible. This means Switch 2 players will experience the full game, not a reduced or cloud version.
And also to the development team of RE9 Requiem and Capcom, if you really want to use RE engine, don't use De Novo. Regardless what these people who defend De Novo say that it doesn't affect performance, well, newsflash you De Novo defenders, it did affect performance. So if you really want to utilize the RE engine or Resident Evil engine, let's just call it RE engine. Remove de novo. Do not put de novo at all.
Accessibility and options. Capcom also confirmed a wide range of difficulty settings to make the game approachable for newcomers. There are built-in motion sickness options like reduced camera shake and center reticle, and the ability to switch between first person and third person at any time. Nakanishi said the perspectives change the feel of the game entirely. Third person gives a closer bond to the character of Grace, while first person is much more intense. Finally, Capcom confirmed that Requiem is in the final tuning stage of development, aiming to deliver a polished experience for its February 27th, 2026 release. Full recap of all the details: zombies and BOWs are back, and some will have nostalgic designs longtime fans will recognize. The game is described as a return to pure horror, with Nakanishi comparing it to Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 2 Remake. Grace Ashcroft is confirmed as the main protagonist. She starts out scared and uncertain, but grows stronger as the game progresses. Nakanishi said she's meant to represent Resident Evil itself, an ordinary person surviving extraordinary horror. Grace and her mother Alyssa Ashcroft share a key family connection that kicks off the story, serving as a bridge back to Raccoon City. The title, Requiem, means remembrance for the dead, representing a return to the tragedies of the past, a requiem for the victims of the series. Nakanishi confirmed the game is not part of the Ethan trilogy. Resident Evil 7 and Village form a duology, while Requiem pushes the main storyline forward. Gameplay features strategic combat, exploration, puzzles, and resource management with dynamic changes based on location, like the clinic area introducing unique mechanics. Ink ribbons may return, and the RE engine has been updated with more realistic lighting, textures, and atmosphere. Players choose between first or third person views, each offering different kinds of tension. A new dynamic pacing system alternates horror and relief to keep players on edge without fatigue.
Well, let's hope so it does, because if you don't know this, Japanese players, mostly they prefer third person, while the West prefers first person. You ask yourself that, why is that? Now, although it's a shame we don't know what happened to Rose, I know the RE7 and RE Village, the story is done. Well, even though they showcase Rose, I mean, we could at least see Rose in some places. Some people are saying that Leon was, or in this case, Leon is there too, which we all know it's confirmed. We don't know how much was there. Okay, BOWs, okay, that's good. I overheard some people saying that this game will probably be the end of the Umbrella legacy. I don't know how they're gonna do that.
Is aware of complaints about the repetitive stalker enemies and has designed new ways to handle them without breaking immersion. Chris Redfield is not appearing in Requiem, and the story is fully centered on Grace's journey. Nakanishi said she'll gain new weapons and skills as she grows, the gameplay becoming more empowering toward the end. The game draws inspiration from The Silence of the Lambs, The X-Files, and David Fincher's films, leaning into psychological horror and grounded realism. It's been in development for about 4 to 5 years and is roughly the same length as Resident Evil 4 Remake, and focuses entirely on fear, exploration, and survival. Wow, that was a lot to take in and process, but that's everything we got from the latest Famitsu article and everything we learned from Tokyo Game Show. Personally, I'm very excited for this game, and I can't wait to return to Raccoon City to see what it looks like 30 years later. But now I'm curious to know your thoughts.
First off, I would say good video. And again, I apologize I have to let the video go way longer because there are times where you have to let the creator cook first. And there are times where you have to make sure the creator, well, you get through all their yapping, their temper tantrum, and their rant and all that sort. You know how it is. I would say this. The first thing is de novo, okay? If Capcom really want to use, or in this case, want to continue to use RE engine, de novo must not be put or implemented on RE9. Trust me, Capcom, if you don't put de novo, the game will run smoothly and players will come to your game. They will love it. And also, Reforge, tell me something. Who the hell tells you that this game is woke? Where is the evidence? But then again, we all know VForge Gaming, he will never admit. He's an example of a lefty loony and also a console fanboy. And trust me, the moment this game released on the PC and got a lot of players on PC, he will probably twist the numbers. It will. That's how console fanboy works. Many of these console fanboys still doesn't want to admit that games are now going day and date on PC. I don't know about the Switch 2, which we'll not cover that one. I know it sucks to see that Chris Redfield is not there, or even Claire Redfield, because for me, if it were me, what I want to see is that at least Capcom could address what happened to the OG characters such as Leon, Jill, Chris, Claire, Rebecca Chambers, Bill Burton, all that sort, because we don't know what happened to them. Like for example, well, minus Ada Wong, most of the OG characters' last appearance was RE Death Island. And after that, with the exception of Chris Redfield, we didn't see any of them. We don't know what happened to Leon after the events of RE6. We don't know what happened to Claire after Resident Evil Death Island. So hopefully, I don't know if Capcom is going to address that or is going to continue this, because they say that this game is probably, assumingly, is that it will be the end of the Umbrella legacy. Well, there's still remakes. I don't know how they're gonna connect with a new game right now, like say RE7. RE6 remake is gonna be the last one they remake, assuming they did.
Leon. Long time no see.
Ada. So it is true.
True? About what?
You, working with Wesker.
I see you've been doing your homework.
Why, Ada?
What's it to you?
Why are you here? Why'd you show up like this?
Flashbang.
See you around.
Ada!